Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o see them yopo.
Article 66 clause 2 prohibit only consecutive terms.
I see.
Yeah.
So that's the argument they have made.
That's
so
the argument.
In contention is Article 66.2.
Yeah.
Okay. So Article 66.2. They are saying per their understanding. So there's someone, Adams DH says no. Completely.
Completely, he said no.
But Ken Kranchi and Ganiu are of the opinion that you are allowed to.
Yes.
Once there's a break in between.
Absolutely. Once there's a break.
Okay. So Article 66.2, a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms.
Yeah.
Very simple. A person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms.
So either continuous and I say break boom now some about 2 terms.
Good. So the 2 terms is where the issue is. For the more than 2 terms could mean term 1. He's been elected, he finished, and he's gone.
Okay.
And then he can make a comeback, which becomes the term 2. That's one leg.
Okay.
The second leg is that the 2 term just like we have it currently. First term 4 years, and then it continues another 4 years.
Like Nanado's case, like in the case of Jerry Rawlings
and
Kufuor. Yes.
Yeah. So they are thinking that no, the 2 term could also apply to serving, breaking, and coming back. That's why they are seeking interpretation from the Supreme Court.
I see. Interesting. Interesting. Like I said, as far as I know on record, President Mahama says he's not interested. But has there any opinions been expressed publicly on this? Are there any popular opinions on this?
Yes.
Aside the cause that
there are popular opinions. So there are key figures that are in support and some are against.
Okay.
So if you look at Ken Kranchi's case, it appears as though he's in support of it. That's why you were exhibiting shock.
Yes.
It appears he's for. Because there has been an earlier suit by him to prevent Mahama from contesting the...
Yes.
So this is a departure from his earlier...
He was trying to prevent Mahama from contesting this particular term.
So if you put these 2 in context, you can see that his intent is not really support for Mahama, but to test the law.
Okay.
But it appears as though he's in support of it because he wants the Supreme Court to declare that once you serve and break, once you can come back and then. So he's the first person. Another person is Kojo Edu Asare. Okay. He says Mahama deserves another term and a law must be tested to see if it's possible.
Okay.
Kwame A+. He's publicly announced.
Yes, I've heard his argument.
But he has come up to offer some clarification. He said he supports testing the law.
Okay.
And he's not campaigning for Mahama to continue. Okay. That's a new addition he's done recently. But I've also seen him saying Mahama must continue based on what the deliverables he's saying.
Okay.
Additional supportive voices. Nana Boedi Amponim Abo.
Okay.
Dade the third.
Okay.
I think he's a traditional ruler.
Okay.
He supports constitutional change to allow another term for President Mahama. Mahama Ayariga says he would implement any official party decision, but insists there is currently no NDC third term agenda.
Okay. Says that whatever the party says,
he will do. President John Mahama himself, so we are moving to the open and those who are against it.
Okay.
Mahama himself has, on a number of occasions, indicated that he has no interest in continuing.
Okay.
So he is the first opponent to the idea.
Okay. So you count him as somebody who's
the
opposed.
second opponent
here
is Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh.
Okay. The man who led the constitutional review, the recent work.
Exactly.
Okay.
He said the case is hypothetical and should be dismissed.
Okay. The cases that are before the court.
Yes.
Okay.
Gabi Asare Ochedako says Article 66 imposes a lifetime 2-term limit.
Okay.
That's his understanding of it.
Yes, his opinion. Okay.
Yeah. And then Fifi Avikwete says NDC had no third-term agenda. General Mosquito also says NDC rejects an official third-term project.
Okay. So the 2 biggest people in the party said no. General Secretary.
Felix also said he described the whole campaign as unfounded.
Okay.
There's no need for that. Alexander Penyumakins warns against any move to extend presidential tenure.
Okay, so okay, so and I'll come back. What do you think, Dr. Kwesi Amachi Boateng, is senior political science lecturer at the KNUSC? Doc, thank you very much for your time. Good morning to you.
Good morning. And thanks for having me.
I hope you're well, Doc.
I'm good. I'm good. God is in control.
What do you make of this? There are those who say, "Oh, it's too much ado about nothing." If the person says he's not interested, why are you wasting our time with it? What do you think?
I think we need to look at the principle and accept to work with it or reject it. The idea of a third term. What is the basis for that? Let me add the 5-year term issue to this debate. Once again, what is the basis for that? Why a third term? What comes out of this maxim that individuals come and go, organizations stay? In the development of a country, although we have presidents, our constitution establishes an executive president. Yet, at any material moment in time, in any democracy with such a constitution, the person of the president does not work alone. Of course, all of us follow his or her vision. But the person doesn't work alone. Eventually, what builds states, what brings about development, turn out to be institutions, strong institutions, so that with time, individuals fit themselves into such a framework and produce outcomes, desirable outcomes that stay, that we can show forth, that we are making progress, we are developing. So in all of this, individuals play roles, but we complement one another and the system moves on. There's no basis for this argument of a third term, a 5-year term. There's no basis. Institutionally, there's no basis. Generally, we argue that it is politics. It is decisions that people make, desirable institutions. And so our political institutions are supposed to be such vehicles. President Kufuor starts an Aferi hospital. Then President Mills, President Mahama, and Adakwa Kufuor should complete it. They should complete it. The institutions should be working. What is happening in Ghana is that we have bad politics. Leaders who take terrible decisions that do not support the society. That is the reason why economic development is such a challenge in Ghana. It has been so since Nkrumah. By 1964, Ghana started to be in a bad economic shape. Ghana has never come out from that time to date. It's not the years that account for this mess. So this is my position on it.
So for you, this debate shouldn't even come up at all.
At all. We are wasting time.
Okay. And as far as you're concerned, President Mahama, this should be his last term.
I mean, is there any debate about that? Is there any debate? Is there any confusion? Is it difficult to read the Constitution and come to terms with this fact? Once again, we should not be debating it. It is so crystal clear.
Then on the matter of those who argue that the man has done well, he deserves a third term, they are not sure that this term will be enough for him to do all he wants to do. So perhaps we should look at it and a third term, if the Constitution allows for it, since the Constitution did not say 2 consecutive terms. There should be an interpretation that favors him getting another term. What do you say to those who say that?
They are self-serving individuals. They are closer to him. They benefit from his physical presence in office now. When he leaves office, they will lose those opportunities. They are not speaking for Ghana. They are not speaking for Ghanaians. they are self-serving. If he's doing well, it should be explained in terms of policies he's putting out and then putting up a team to implement it. All these teams come from the NDC. Why are we afraid that when he leaves office and those policies are good, they are desirable, the next NDC person will move away from that? We should be building our institutions. We should make them strong. We should not rely on individuals. It has never been the case.
When you say they are close to him, because I have a friend whose name is Jet Morgan. He's in the US. He is not close to John Mahama. But he is of the opinion, I am for the third term bid for John Mahama and JM deserves it. And even says we shall force him to accept the offer if he refuses to. He is just an average citizen, but is of this opinion.
It might be, his case might be an isolated case. If you go deeper into it, it's a self-serving, if you like, agenda. This gentleman, if that is all that he has said, you realize that he has not provided any justification. His only justification is that he's doing well. If I analyze that statement, you realize that in the development trajectory of states, really time matters. Time matters. But you take democracies that have done well, Hong Kong, Mauritius, Botswana, democracies that have done well produce results that really stay. They build their institutions and then one leader takes over from another and proceed. The party comes to have an understanding about what to do to make the state work. That is when the country will be, moving towards making optimal use of its resources. We don't rely on such cases. So I would say that his argument for now is very, very basic. When he says he's doing well, specifically, what is he talking about? The economy is good currently. At the same time, our environment gets decimated by galamsey. So if you want to do a critical analysis, yes, I even called it some time ago that his manufacturing miracles, the way the economy is stabilizing, the way the economy is stabilizing. Interestingly, whatever it is that are getting done, the ministries that are in place are those that are working, that are on the ground and directly implementing the policies. What are the implications of this? The ideas that come out, aren't they generated from the cabinet? There's one thing that I'm still hoping that will also work. Strengthening the state. The state increasingly becoming more strong, principled, and insisting on the right things. The fight against galamsey is a test President Mahama must pass. It's a test President Mahama must pass. If he's going to go into the annals of Ghana's history as a great leader, he has to fight galamsey. Otherwise, when he leaves office, it will stand so strongly against him, possibly erode whatever it is that could be said in support of his leadership. And so what argument is that gentleman putting up? What is his real case? I don't find any.
So saying that he's doing well is not enough for us to change the laws for him to stay.
I mean, anybody at all can say that somebody is doing well based on his own understanding of doing well. What does that mean? Food is still very expensive in Ghana. We need to be self-sufficient in our production and on food matters. Ghana potentially should not be importing rice. Has that happened? When Burkina said that our women shouldn't go to buy tomatoes again, have we replaced the quantum of tomato produced because we have the capacity to do it? That gentleman who is saying he's doing well, I mean, there are so many things that are yet to be done. But because he has time, he has opportunity, we still hope in anticipation that these things will be addressed. But there are a lot of things that have to be done. I don't think we are ready to be clapping. No, we are not ready.
Interesting. And then you also seem to be completely against the increasing the term, the years spent in one term. So from 4 to 5.
We don't have to go there.
Why
Have
not?
The president that Ghana has produced from 1993 to date done anything so significant that we should add, one more year to their tenure? What have they used the time that they had? Fortunately, many of them had 8 years. It was in a continuous fashion. 8 years were enough for them to, leave something foundational. What can we speak about concerning the economy?
Doc, you're saying that none of our president has made a case for more time with the performances you've seen since
as far
1992.
As the economy is concerned, I've not seen anything foundational. I've not.
I see. Doc, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you, too.
Dr. Kwesi Amachi Boateng is clear in his position on this matter. We shouldn't even go there at all. He even thinks the 5-year matter, we should kill it before it goes any further. And I'll come and take your opinion shortly. But first, let me just do this from our partners at MTN. They have a message for you. They said I should tell you. Well, they say I should tell you first that sometimes big moments start with small things. A call to a loved one, a Momo transaction to support family, and bundle to grow your business. But what if they could lead to something bigger than you ever imagined? With the MTN at 30 promo, every call, every text, every browse, every Momo transaction, every connection to home fiber, and every activity on the My MTN app earns you points towards amazing rewards, including 9 brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Prados, over 10 million Ghana cedis in cash prizes, and unforgettable experiences just for you. Because every move counts. Dial *530#, *530#, or use My MTN app to participate now, and let's stay connected everywhere you go. MTN at 30 promo, make every move count. And that's coming from our friends at MTN to you. And don't forget that for over 6 years, we're talking about Ghana's story. For over 6 years, SIC Insurance has been Ghana's shield built on integrity, reliability, and care. From motor to fire, accident to travel, marine, and more. Whatever you value, insure it with confidence, insure it with care, insure it with SIC Insurance. Because at the heart of every policy, SIC makes you a sacred promise to care, to deliver, to be there when it matters most. Call 0800 100 055 or talk to a broker or licensed agent today. SIC Insurance, our promises are sacred. Lavon,
Yeah.
what do you think?
That this matter, I would go with what the president said.
That he shouldn't be on the ballot paper.
Yes, I will go with that. However, we must not dismiss the views expressed by the two sides.
Okay.
Those who are against it, they have a point because the law is clear. But I could see that there is an attempt to introduce
into the law what is not there.
Yeah,
okay.
This is an attempt to amend the constitution without going through, because that constitutional provision is an entrenched clause, right? Is this how they call it? Entrenched? It's entrenched. There's a way to amend entrenched provision in our constitution. So the way to do it is not by this. However, those who are for it to have a point. You know, there are countries, Singapore, South Korea, China, United Arab Emirates, and the others.
Even the US introduced term limit at some point.
Some of these
Not from the
countries
very beginning.
achieved rapid national development by keeping visionary leaders in place for a long time. Okay. Now, if you look at what the current government led by Mahama is doing, if you think he's embarking on something good, towing a different path that could take us to where we want to go, then this call could be justified, which would get the country to do the right thing by amending. There's a procedure set out by the law to follow to do this.
So but there are those who also give us a timely caution.
Anyway,
but that's an interesting position. I'll come back to that. We'll talk about that a bit more in studio. I like Yunus Avuseni is someone who's a former member of parliament, served as member of parliament for the people of Tamale Central for 4 terms. Then also was a minister, deputy minister. He's currently moved into Ghana's agricultural sector. Alaji, good morning, and I hope you're well.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. First, without prejudice to the Supreme Court, because they can decide whether to entertain the cases that are before them or not to. Because I recall vividly in one of the earlier cases, they had indicated that they don't participate in public debates. So you can't come to them saying that there's a debate about it, so they should join. That they don't do that job. So they can decide whether to entertain or not to entertain. But without prejudice to them, do you think there's any ambiguity to Article 66(2)?
So my journey with Article 66 of the Constitution. When His Excellency John Dramani Mahama lost the elections in 2016, and I was in Parliament in 2017-2020, I was of the view that if we got John Dramani Mahama back, he might be able to do 2 terms. I did that because I thought that the Constitution was talking about 2 consecutive terms. Now I engaged in debate with the current Attorney General, who told me to read the provision again, and it appeared to him that the provision was not ambiguous. 2 terms is 2 terms. It doesn't matter whether he did it conservatively or he did it intermittently, but it's 2 terms. And so I also bounced the idea of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama during the time of the 2020 campaign. And he said, sir, I think that what we need to do is to concentrate on winning the 2020 elections than thinking about whether or not I will do 2 terms. Thereafter, I've read the Constitution several times, and I have come to believe that my initial position that he could do 3 terms is not supported by the Constitution.
Oh, so you've had quite a journey yourself.
Yes.
With debates and everything, and even speaking to the president, you have arrived at the conclusion that there's no ambiguity to it.
There's no ambiguity, yes.
Okay. Any argument for 3rd term is not supported by the Constitution?
It's not supported by the Constitution unless the Constitution is amended.
Unless the Constitution is amended. Because currently, what has been put before the president does not include an amendment to Article 66(2), except for the elongation of a term.
It includes amendment to Article 66, but in terms of term, the presidential term is 4 years. Okay, from the day that he's sworn into office. Now, the amendment suggested is that the presidential term should be increased from 4 to 5 years, and then amend Article 66(8) and make it 1 term, so 1 5-year term.
I see. Very interesting. Because if you listen to the recent conversation of the New Patriotic Party, in the line about the arrest of Miracle Sabuaji, they said it's because President Mahama wants to pursue a 3rd term agenda. And that is why...
How does the arrest of Miracle Sabuaji forward the ambition of President Mahama to do a 3rd term? How does it? Because Miracle Sabuaji is going to sit on the Supreme Court and determine whether Mahama does the 3 terms or not. Or what is it? How does the arrest? This one. The conjecture is not even funny. It's absurd.
It's not funny. It's absurd.
Yes, it's absurd.
Well, they said he's the one who will oppose this agenda strongly, and it's a diversionary tactics too.
I have said that anybody who has been given the privilege to serve in a public office must refer to account to the people of this country, his stewardship of that public office. You must be prepared. I mean, I was Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. I was Minister for Roads and Highways. I tell you that I had to appear before Yoko on several times, on several occasions, to account for my stewardship of the ministry, until they were convinced that I had not engaged in inappropriate behavior while being a minister at the Ministry of Roads and Highways. I didn't make noise about it. I didn't. Anytime they wanted me, I made myself available. Whatever explanation they wanted, I made it available. The only this thing they gave me, concession or what they gave me, was that they will come to Parliament and engage me. The last engagement, they actually brought a charge sheet. But after I explained, and when they read the charge sheet, after I explained why I don't think that the charge was well founded, they were taken aback and they made some few calls. And they said, "Oh, I think that what you are explaining is perfectly right. I don't think that this was an offense." And they let me go.
I see.
Yeah,
so this is nothing new, because they said this one is Rainbow Style.
I've never made noise about it. If they had charged me that day, I would have been amenable to bail. Yes, but I never made noise about it.
The argument is also that it looks the current arrests are in Rambo style. And
what Rambo style?
Yeah, that it is the Rambo style that they are against.
I don't know what they mean by Rambo style. When I made my statement that because of that statement was premised on the number of times the Electoral Commission had changed the 2020 election results. 5 good times. 5 good times. And as a lawyer, I did not see the authority of the Electoral Commission to announce results and change those results. The only reason or explanation I was given by Oliver Baker Vamawa was that because they had power to declare, they also had power to undeclare. But I thought that elections are so important that power must be explicitly stated in law. I didn't think that you could infer such a power. So I said, if I were President Mahama, I would declare myself president, because what the Electoral Commission was doing was totally irresponsible. I was arrested, Rambo style. They came to my house, went to Parliament, gave me a date. I said I won't go because I was just a remas used. They issued a summons, arrested me in court. They came to court plenty, court summons, arrested me and sent me to the police headquarters. Again, I didn't make noise. I went and wrote a statement. And after they said I should go. If they want me, they will call me, and that ended the matter.
That was the one for which I was invited.
You were there. You were the host.
So I was supposed to be the key witness against you.
The key witness.
I could have gotten you into prison, so do you know that?
So you see, do you make noise?
No.
You see, responsibility is very important. Everybody must be responsible. Mm-hmm. You must be responsible for what you say. You must be responsible for what you do. And especially when you occupy a public office, you are a public servant. So you are prepared to account for the utilization of public resources. That is a duty you owe to the people of this country. I don't see it. I don't get it with the NPP. I don't get it.
But
they seem to be living in Kukuland.
Because
they're having their own laws and how to deal with their own people.
In fact, the argument is that the best way for Yoko to operate would have been to invite the person, talk to the person, and then grant the person bail, send the person home. If they need them, they invite the person again, the person will come. That there's no need to arrest them, go to their house, pick them up, that there's no need to do that. All Yoko needs to do is to say, are you there? Come. And then I have this issue against you. They talk about it.
They are rewriting the operational manual of Yoko. They want to write the operational manual of Yoko. And are they saying that Yoko never invited Miracle Sabwaji? Is that what they are saying? You don't know when the investigations of Miracle Sabwaji's activities in his office or his capacity as executive director of the interministerial committee, coordinating committee started. Do they know? All they know is that he was arrested. But they don't know when the investigation started. How many times Miracle Sabwaji was invited to the Yoko and he honored those invitations. They do not also know what triggered the arrest in the way he was arrested. They don't know. These are matters that are akin to the mode of operation of the security establishment. And so to begin to think that you can write the operational manual of the security is just foolhardy.
Okay. And on that
The
matter.
man was under investigations.
Okay.
He traveled to London and came back. The people were preparing, according to information that has come to me, the people were preparing to arrest him. Then it came to their attention that the day that they had settled for arresting him, the man was not in town. I mean, the day they said they were going to arrest him, the man was actually in London. And so when he arrived, they were now afraid that after having settled that they were going to arrest him, if the matter came to leak to him, he will find a way to go back. So they put him on the stop list. And so when he arrived, he was arrested. His journey to London precipitated his name being put on the stop list. Okay, so I don't know and because his name was put on the stop list, when the immigration authorities spotted him at the airport, they arrested him. And they handed him over to the Yoko, who had put his name on the stop list. So his arrest was precipitated by his travel. The manner in which he was arrested was precipitated by his travel. And because he was on the stop list, he was to be arrested. So if he had not traveled, they wouldn't have arrested him in the manner in which they arrested him.
I see. And two things before I let you go. First one, it seems the minority leader is asking for the Attorney General to come to Parliament and explain to them why they arrested him in the manner in which they did. Is this something that should concern Parliament at all?
How can the Parliament arrogate to itself the power to inquire into why an individual has been arrested? When Ibrahim Adam, Kwame Pepra, and all the others and the collective green were arrested, did they tell us why they were arrested in Parliament? Did they tell us? Yankee. Did they tell us? They said they were fighting corruption and that Kufuor was pursuing a zero tolerance of corruption and that these people had misconducted themselves in the operationalization of a policy of the cultivation of rice in the Avihimi Valley. And so they were being asked to come to court to account. And that was it. And in fact, when they were arrested, NPP gathered a lot of foot soldiers. That was the time that foot soldiers, the nomenclature of foot soldiers entered our political lexicon. They gathered them at the court, and they were always hooting, even before they were convicted. They were always hooting at our comrades, compatriots. Did they really think at that time? I think that Afenyamaka was not even in the law school. But did they ever consider that what they were doing was wrong and that they needed to come to Parliament to explain? Nana Akufo-Addo was the Attorney General. So I don't know what I think that they have memory. They suffer from some memory losses. I mean, this country has not witnessed what NPP did to NDC in the Kufuor era ever. Ever. That's how we the youth came up. I mean, or the group Youth Forum came up. Because they put so much fear in those who occupied political office during the time of His Excellency late Jerry John Rawlings that they were impotent, they were incapacitated, they could not talk. Anytime that go to Toby, he will tell you. Go to Kwame Nkrumah, he will tell you. Anytime they open their mouth to criticize the government, the next time they were arrested. And we live with it. No, we didn't match up to court premises or the investigative authorities to demand their release. How can somebody be investigated for a crime, the commission of a crime, and you march to that place and say release him? You see your son before. This impunity must stop in this country.
Alaji, thank you for speaking to us.
Okay.
He is a former member of parliament, former minister. Join us on the line. Alaji Nusa Fuseni. We'll speak to one of the people who have sent a case to court on this matter shortly. Adam, you are on the floor.
Yes. So
you were arguing that perhaps if you there's a case to be made for.
Okay. Yeah, there's a case to be made for those who are calling for this.
Okay.
Because if you look at what countries are looking for, it's development, progress. So if you have a leader that you think...
Okay, I have
all
to.
right.
Okay. Mr. Ken Kranchi is a senior journalist, a private legal practitioner, so editor Daily Searchlight newspaper. Thank you very much for your time. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Senior, I hope you're well.
Oh, we are surviving. We are surviving.
Okay. So the very first question that comes to mind is that it seems you were the same person who went to court challenging whether or not President Mahama should have contested this term, the term that he's serving in the first place. And you are the same person who is going to court saying he may have the right to contest for another term. That is confusing. Why are you in court based on the history that I just put forward?
Well, good morning and thank you for the opportunity. The last time I went to court, I said that the presidency was consecutive. If you look at our history, Jerry John Rawlings was consecutive, President Kufuor was consecutive, Nana Akufo-Addo was consecutive. Unfortunately, the late Professor Mo's demise before the end of the term. So I was saying that it is consecutive. Once you serve and you are unable to go to the consecutive, then you become disqualified to contest. So it is the same argument we are advancing in the Supreme Court today, that the presidency is consecutive. The last time I said that the person who has served the first term is disqualified because he should have been consecutive, and then he was unable to contest. He was elected out of office, and therefore he is not qualified to contest. What we are saying this time is that yes, it is consecutive. So once he's been able to contest, then our interpretation, our reading of the Constitution is that once it is consecutive, then the person ought to get out of the second term. Because basically, that the first term, we are saying that the first term, once it demises, it should be written off. So then the person is able to contest it. Then the first argument is to the Supreme Court.
So for you, it is consistent with your earlier argument?
Oh, it's very consistent. There is nothing actually.
But are you not adding words to the provision? Because if you read the provision is clear.
I'm not adding words to the provision. And if you had a look at, if you only look at the we are not just talking about Article 6.2. There are other provisions in the 1992 Constitution as well.
Oh, so you think other provisions back your case?
No, in interpretation, you want to read everything as a whole. Every lawyer knows that you don't just stand on one clause and say that is what it is, so that's the meaning. The Constitution must be read as a whole, as one document together.
What was the Supreme Court's opinion in your first case?
That has not been determined yet.
It has not been determined yet.
It has not been determined yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a follow-up to that.
This is a new rate, but it has elements of the old rate in it.
What do you seek to achieve with this?
What do I think to achieve with the current rate?
Yes, the rate that you found.
If we are going to practice this democracy for 1,000 years, then similar scenarios as we are encountering now will come up. We need to be clear on some of these things that are going to be okay now. If you want the democracy to last 1,000 years, you understand.
Mm.
So this type of boundaries really ought to be set and explained and set down by the highest court in the land. Then we know that this is for the limit for the limit.
Mm. Are you saying you wouldn't mind if the Supreme Court agrees with you?
If it is the law according to the Supreme Court, why would I mind? I believe this is the situation. I believe this is the situation. That's how I read it. If the Supreme Court agrees with me, why would I mind?
Do you think President Mahama should contest for a third term? Should be allowed to run for a third term?
Well, that is a decision that is really up to him. It is a decision that is up to him. If the law allows him, why not?
I see. So what you are seeking is clarity.
What I'm seeking is clarity, yes.
Okay. Well, is it that you suspect that maybe even if he is not interested, somebody may come up after him who will be in the same situation, who may argue for this?
That is the point I'm making. You know, Mr. Mama is a very unique individual. But human beings, there comes a time in history where human beings repeat themselves. It is quite possible down the line that you might get somebody with similar opportunity. If the person wants to contest, would he be able to contest, even if it is not to do with Mr. Mama? I think that this is an opportunity for us to set the boundaries clear. Once you contest a certain number of times, you can't contest. Or the people have the right to elect you because the thing is consecutive. Let's wait and see what the Supreme Court says on this matter.
There are those who are of the opinion that you're engaged. This is too much ado about nothing. The Supreme Court should just throw you out and not even entertain you at all.
Well, I have an opinion. Why on earth would I be against somebody else's opinion? I think that the people have a right to say that what is taken to the Supreme Court is nonsense. We do not. If the Supreme Court says it is nonsense, we lawyers know that after the case, you just file your matters and then go on to the next case. So that is it. If they say it's nonsense, it's nonsense. We accept it, we thank them, and then we move on.
Senior, thank you. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much.
That's Mr. Ken Crunchy, who is a private legal practitioner, also a journalist, editor, Daily Searchlight newspaper. Join us on the line. He says what he argued first, what he's arguing are inconsistent. He's always held the opinion that is a consecutive term. Okay. And if you allow President Mahama to run and win the last election, it means that his argument applies. His argument of consecutive terms means that he should have the opportunity to run again. So that's what he's arguing. So he's not arguing anything new. That is different. That is his explanation of that. He says his purpose is the fact that it's possible that anybody might, if even President Mahama decides not to do that, what if somebody comes up and forces that interpretation on us, that this is a rare opportunity for us to utilize? If you okay, so the tuning is working now. So if you are one of those who usually listen to us through radio streaming and you have been forced to be on Facebook for this while, for all this while, thank you very much. But I've announced the tuning is now working, so you can listen. You were making an argument for the development model.
Yes.
So now that argument in full, you said, okay.
It's for people who want him to contest for a third term.
Okay.
I've spoken to the people who are opposed to it.
Okay.
That if you want to embark on this journey, you have to amend the constitution. then you can do that. But in the absence of amendment, then I started speaking to those who are for it.
Okay.
The countries I've listed, these were countries where were not very developed at the time.
Okay.
But they stumbled upon leaders that have shown qualities that they feel can change their nation for them.
Okay.
It is on the heels of that they introduced this thing of allowing a leader who is competent, visionary, to stay on for a long time so that they can implement their policies and programs that they believe can turn things around.
Okay.
So they remove this
term limits.